Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were discussing the $7.8 billion media rights expansion for the college football playoffs, and now we're going to be talking about WSU's Kirk Schulz to propose to the CFP leaders that Pac-12 should be treated as a power conference for the extended future. Alrighty, so.
Okay. It's kind of like, oh, bless their heart.
Bless your heart, sweetie.
Washington State, aren't you just special? Okay. That's kind of like me going, I'm trying to sell my car
Mm-hmm.
and there's no transmission and I'm missing the two back tires. The Pac-12 used to be called the Conference of Champions.
Mm-hmm.
But the Pac-12 is missing 10 teams. They're gone.
So there's two. So
There's two.
Pac-2.
They're the Pac-2. They're like, yeah, hey, we want
Pac-Man
some of those billions.
Pac-Man.
So it's only the Pac-12 only consists of Oregon State and Washington State. And they're saying you need to treat us like the Big Ten, the SEC, the Big 12, and the ACC.
See, that's what I was gonna ask you, because I thought I remember correctly. I was like, I thought the Pac-12 wasn't even a thing anymore. And when I read this, I was confused because I was like, well, everybody's either going to Big Ten or SEC now. And so when I read Pac-12, I was like,
or Big 12 and Big 10 and Big 12, yes.
Yeah. I was like, I was like, what? I thought Pac-12 was no longer in existence.
That's kind of like the couple that broke up, but one of them don't want to admit that they're no longer together, and they're like, "Oh, we're still together. Where is he at, or where is she at? Oh, yeah, we're still together." Well, Washington State and Oregon State are trying to say we're still a conference. Where's everybody at? They're over in the Big 10 and the Big 12.
Yeah.
And so they're in trouble because they're trying to negotiate as if their plan is, hey, we're going to be a conference again. And they're hoping to kind of hold things up and try to get an automatic bid into the college football playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And what the hope is that they're going to merge with the Mountain West, which is a group of 5 conference. You have the Power 5 conferences. That's what really controls college football. And the group of 5 are kind of like, they get every once in a while they'll get a bid, and but they're not on the same level as far as great games. I am a big fan of the Mountain West, but no one's going to say that the Mountain West Conference is on the same level as the Big Ten or SEC. What the Pac-12 is hoping that the two teams will merge with the Mountain West and come back as the Big 12.
Mm-hmm.
And for their plans to happen, a big part of that would be if they can guarantee themselves an automatic bid into the college football playoffs, and that also guarantees that then they're getting part of that $7 billion that we were talking about in the last one. But if they do not, and they do not get an automatic bid, then Washington State and Oregon State has then de facto been demoted to a group of 5, which means all the Power 5, Power 4 conferences will get all the bids, and then all the group of 5 conferences, the Sun Belt, the American, the Conference USA, the MAC, the best team, the highest rated team out of there would only get one team in. But if the Pac-12 is able to negotiate and still keep their group of their Power 5 status, then it benefits the Mountain West to merge with them and maybe contend. I saw something also about this, that with this negotiation, another aspect of this is if Washington State, who is on the committee, kind of holds this up, it may work out for them because of the fact that maybe there's some play where they're hoping that by doing a tough negotiation, it will force the Big 12 to invite Washington State and Oregon State into the Big 12. Washington State is doing what they're supposed to do. They don't have much leverage. They're sticking their. You ever see like the Chihuahua? I have 2 Chihuahuas, and the Chihuahuas, they'll walk up to the biggest, baddest dog, and they'll stick their chest out, and they're barking. But if that big dog decided to just pimp slap the 2 Chihuahuas, they have no shot at all of defending themselves. Mm-hmm. Well, insert Chihuahua Washington State. They're trying to stick their chest out and they're trying to bark loud, hoping that no one calls their bluff and gives them a chance to stay Power 5, even though there's only 2 teams in the college, and stay relevant. Because if they lose that, then they're in trouble. And these schools would lose if they lose their Power 5 status. This isn't just by name only. This means hundreds of millions of dollars for them over the next few years, because they lose their Power 5 status, no guaranteed playoff berth. Their television contract, when they try to negotiate a television contract, which is what killed them before, is they couldn't get a television contract. If they drop down to a group of 5, that television contract becomes horrible for these schools. And so they're negotiating. I commend the chancellor from Washington State for doing this, because that's his only move.
Yeah.
He has to bark and get as loud as he can and try to slow things up to the point where they hope that someone kind of gives in and keeps their status, because that's the only thing that's going to keep the Pac-2, not 12, the Pac-2 alive.
Well,
what do you say?
It was said on an interview on Tuesday, Schulz confirmed and said he's been granted a hearing to pitch the plan to the CFP Board of Managers, of which he is a member as the Pac-12's representative. It's a virtual meeting, though, so I don't know. I don't think it's gonna go well.
You didn't have to let that part out. That kind of hurt his feelings a little bit. They didn't say they were going to fly in and meet him.
No, yeah. So it's going to be a virtual meeting. So I don't. The fact that it's going to be a virtual meeting, I don't think he's going to get what he wants. But the vote must be unanimous, giving Schulz leverage over significant decision as to the format over the next 2 years.
You just said it. The vote has to be unanimous.
Yeah.
There's his play. He's on the committee. The vote must be unanimous. He's never going to vote to say, oh, no, toss our butts out of here. You know what I mean? So that's why he could ask for these grandiose things. And to be honest, I'm making slight of this. I hope that it works, because college football is just, sometimes I can be a traditionalist. And I think it's sad what happened to the Pac-12 because they did not negotiate their contract, because George Kliavkoff, as their commissioner, performed so poorly in his duties, my opinion. But he performed so poorly that they didn't get a contract. They tried to stay together. All those teams tried to stay together. Then USC left. Then everyone else, the 4 corners, went to the Big 12, then Oregon and Washington, and then it left Washington State, Oregon State, Cal, Stanford, and then Cal and Stanford pulled off their miracle and got to the ACC, leaving them with just these two teams. It's sad to see the Pac-12 go. I hope they pull this merger off fast. I feel like I'm a little surprised that the Pac-12 and the Mountain West didn't say, as soon as college football season was over, press conference, the Mountain West and the Pac-2, not 12, the Pac-2 and the Mountain West is going to merge together and become the new Pac-12.
Right.
I feel like that should have been the first step. Mm-hmm. Create the new Pac-2, then go in there and negotiate, and then you're like, listen, we have Boise, we have Nevada, we have San Diego State, we have Washington State, we have Oregon State. We are a strong conference. But I feel like it really hurts them because they didn't do this. Hey, we're going to negotiate because our name is Pac-12, but there's only two people showing up.
Right.
You know, if you have a party and you're like, oh, this person's going to be there, this person's going to be, this person's going to be there, and then you show up and there's only two people here, that's a lame party. Just like that's a lame conference right now until they get somebody else.
Yeah. Lame party.
It is. If you think you're going to so-and-so's New Year's bash and it shows up and it says you and another person and you're over there, you got your drink and you're staring at them and they're staring at you, it's like, this is not a bash. This is not even a get together. We're just hanging out. It's just two.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That is my take on that one. But as you've seen from the first the segment before, mm-hmm. there are billions of dollars at stake.
Yeah.
And for Washington State, they have no choice. If you don't ask, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
A closed mouth does not get fed. Mm-hmm. And when you're Chihuahua size, Pac-2, you gotta yap your butt off. Mm-hmm. Get me some of that billions.
Props to him for trying to get it. I don't, with it being a virtual meeting, I don't see it going well. You can't even do the meeting in person, So
you make it sound so bad when you're like, listen, it's a Zoom. It's not even on Zoom. It's like GoToMeeting or something like that. It's not even on Skype.
I have run meetings on Zoom before. Things don't get done as well over Zoom meetings than they do in in-person meetings because
people
are
a
just
big
kind of like not paying attention, So.
But I will tell you this: Zoom meetings for me has helped me slim down a little bit. I used to do a lot of meetings. I fly in here, I fly in there, mm-hmm. and sometimes they'd be catered and it'd be all your favorite foods. You're like, well, it's a meeting. I don't want to be rude. So I'm going to take some of this, some of that, this or this. My gut's all stuck out by the end of the meeting. This Zoom has slimmed the brother down a little bit here. Faith's like, I don't even know what to say about this. It's like,
no comment.
All right, that's all I have to say on that topic then.
Alrighty. With that, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to dive into our oddities of the day.